Testing of the VTM-4. It works. Yeah. All right, what's going on, guys, girls, gentle people? So this video is in be regards to the VTM-4 sensor and what doing under the hood caused me to fix my VTM sensor light. I replaced the sensor, if you guys saw in one of my previous videos, and all right, so I'll explain to you guys what was happening so you guys can know the symptoms I was having and how I checked and how I fixed it. I checked my vehicle really I really put mine to the test, but you don't have to do all that. If this is just to take the light off after you replace the sensor, then this is what I did. Okay, so I'll give you the symptoms. So my VTM-4 light was on. Changed the sensor, redid the fuel, the fluid in the rear diff. The light would still be on, but it would only come on if I start the vehicle up and let it idle for about 10 minutes. It would come on at idle all the time. It wouldn't come on at driving necessarily. It was just at idle. It would just pop on. So after I changed the sensor and all that, I thought that fixed the problem. Did the video, it came on. Was baffled a little bit by it. So fortunately for me, or unfortunately, because this job took 2 days, the alternator light, the battery light came on the dash, and I'll point it out once I get in there. Yeah, my battery light came on, and what I did was I pulled out my voltage meter. I'm fortunate enough to have one, and you can. Eric the Car Guy has a great video on how to do alternator check, or some of the steps you can take. The YouTube channel is called Eric the Car Guy. If I have time and if I remember, I'll try to put his video link in the description below. All right, so all I did was I just set mine on auto. Let's see, should say auto DC. Okay, all right, auto DC, direct current. Try to do this with one hand. So I just tested the battery. Let's see, and it gave me 12 volts. And then once you start the vehicle, the voltage should go up. It's dropping a little bit, but yeah, about 12 volts or so should be sufficient. And then all I did was I just went in and start the vehicle. So before I start the vehicle, I'll show you the battery light that came on. So I don't want to lose you guys in the video, but I don't feel like going back and forth, so just stay along with me. So I'm going to turn the key to the on position. Okay, so wait, the light went out that quick. Okay, so you see the VTM-4 light, that would come on when the vehicle was just sitting and idling, right? Then that was after I changed the sensor. Then maybe about a week after, my battery light kept flashing on, and then it would just stay on. You see my check engine light is flashing, and it'll go out. I think I need to redo the ECU or something. Don't pay that no mind. That might be that's not included in this video. So my battery light, this battery light came on. Generally, if you're in the automotive world, the first thing you want to check is your alternator. So I'll go out and show you. I'm starting the vehicle up. Okay, so with the vehicle running, see, everything is at 0. My power lead is still on. I'm gonna now sit this on here, and it should be saying about 14 amps. Mine was saying like it went from 12 to like 11 down to like 10. It was dropping once the vehicle was running. So I went on ahead and changed the alternator, and I'm going to tell you why I think this replacing the alternator fixed my VTM-4 light. I'm going to turn the vehicle off so you can hear me. All right, so it's cold outside, so it's really cold. It's like 39 degrees. So I wanted to come inside and do the video, or do the rest of it. I'm going to use the analogy of the human body, because I like to study how the makeup of the body, how it works. It's the psychology. So every opportunity I get to use the human body to explain something, I will. So generally what we find in the human body, if a person gets paralyzed, their body is intelligent enough to know that if they're no longer using their legs, don't send too much energy to that particular part. That's why most people that's permanently in a wheelchair, their legs will really dwindle down just to skin and bones pretty much, because now the body is sending energy to the most needed area. So what I'm saying is that when the alternator started going bad, when it started to go bad and it was no longer putting out the proper amount of amperage, voltage that the vehicle required, it started sending the direct current to the needed areas, to the most needed areas, the ECU, if you're running the heat, whatever, it's etc, etc. So I think with and this is just my theory, this is my assumption, I think with the VTM-4 sensor was the least important, or one of the least more important sensors. So it by the alternator not having the enough strength to put out the proper amount of voltage and amperage, it was taken from what it didn't need to send it to the motor, the radio, and all that stuff. So pretty much something was going to have to be robbed of power for the vehicle to run. And in my case, it was the VTM-4 light kept popping on because the alternator itself was not putting out sufficient current. So that might not always be the case, but in my case, in this situation, my alternator going bad was causing the VTM-4 light, and I know because I've driven this thing. I've really put it to the test, and the only difference now, since I've changed the sensor and all that, and the light was still coming on, the only thing I did in regards to the VTM-4 light is I've changed the alternator. And since I've changed it, it's been, I want to say, about a week now, just really driving it, letting the car just run, shutting it off, starting to like going through as many tests, really like putting it out, you know, up in the as difficult the challenges I could to test the 4-wheel drive sensor. Like I really wanted to put it to the test to make sure before I made this video. And so far, just changing the alternator fixed my light. So if anybody that's really having a constant issue and they're changing the sensor, it might be smart to either take the alternator, go get it tested at a shop, if you don't have the proper tools, or if you have the ohms meter like I do, to just throw it on there and see if it's putting out the proper amount of voltage. So that worked for me. Changing the sensor could just work for you guys, or maybe it's more severe than an alternator. Maybe a wire is ruptured or whatever it is. But in my situation, replacing the alternator ultimately fixed my VTM-4 sensor light. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, y'all. I'm trying to put out valuable content, and the frequency is not going to be there because I don't know how to put out videos every day and still learn. I have to learn and acquire the knowledge, then put out videos. If I don't have anything to put out, it's for me, there's no point, because my son watches these and I don't want to put out rubbish and nonsense. Like I need to put out videos that he can utilize. And I'm always thinking of my son whenever I'm making videos. Can he draw any knowledge? Can he learn from this stuff? So yeah, man. One love. Stay up, stay blessed, stay strong. Take care, y'all.